You know, it's not too often a former Major League Baseball star becomes a stock car racer and he's what they call it second phase of his life. But this guy did it, a very respected athlete, handsome as the day is long, and basically a lot of people felt he could have been used more often in the mid 1980s Red Sox mini dynasty. Mike Greenwell, born Michael Lewis Greenwell, has passed away at the age of October 9th, at the age of 62. Sorry about that. This American left fielder in MLB played his entire career with the Red Sox from 85 to 96. He also played 7 games for the Hanshin Tigers in Japan in 97 before retiring. Best known as his nickname the Gator, he batted left-handed and a true right-hander. He was fourth in Rookie of the Year voting in 87. He was also leading contender for the American League MVP award in 88, but lost to Jose Canseco, who had the first 40 home run, 40 stolen base season in baseball history. Greenwell hit .325 with 22 homers and 119 RBIs in 88, setting career highs in all 3 categories. Again, born in Louisville, when he was 5, his family relocated to Fort Myers, Florida. He attended North Fort Myers High School, where he played both baseball and football. Now, Greenwell was drafted in the 3rd round of the 82 MLB draft by the Red Sox and signed on June 9, 82. Throughout his Red Sox career, he suffered under the weight of lofty expectations for a Boston left fielder, as since 1940 the position had been occupied by Ted Williams, Carl Yastrzemski, and Jim Rice in succession, all MVP winners, regular Triple Crown candidates, and eventual members of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Although his play rarely reached this level of his predecessors, he provided a solid and reliable presence in the team's lineup for several seasons. Well respected, he also served as the team's player representative for a time. Now, runner-up for the 88 AL MVP to Jose Canseco, years later, Canseco's admission of steroid use led Greenwell to ask, "Where's my MVP?" Now, on September 14, 88, he hit for the cycle, becoming the 17th player to do so in Red Sox history. On September 2nd, 96, the Red Sox bet the Mariners 9-8 in 10 innings at the Kingdome, with Greenwell driving in all 9 runs for the Sox, a record for most runs driven in by one player, accounting for all that team's runs in a single contest. He also holds the American League record for most game-winning RBIs in a single season, with 23 in 88. The game-winning RBI stat has since been discontinued as an official statistic. Inducted into the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame in 2008, mainly because of his 2 All-Star appearances in 88-89, he's Silver Slugger in 88 as well. 1,269 games, 4,623 at-bats, 657 runs scored, 1,400 hits, 130 RBI, 30 home runs, 726 RBIs, and 80 stolen bases. Now, Greenwell received his nickname during spring training in Winter Haven. He had captured an alligator, taped his mouth shut, and put it in Ellis Burks' locker. Now, Greenwell signed with the Hanshin Tigers of the Nippon Professional Baseball League in 97. His career in the major leagues heightened expectations of Japanese fans, but he left the team during spring training and returned to the States. He had suffered a herniated disc while driving for a ball. He did not return to Japan until late April. He played his first game on May 3rd and hit an RBI triple in that game, despite having missed spring training. However, Greenwell suddenly announced his retirement after appearing in just 7 contests. He had fractured his right foot with a foul tip, and the injury would have prevented him from playing for at least a month. In 2001, he was hired during the offseason as a player coach for the Cincinnati Reds AA affiliate in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Greenwell was also the interim hitting coach for Reds in 2021, filling in when Ken Griffey Sr. was given a medical leave of absence. Now, upon his retirement from baseball, he began driving late model stock cars at New Smyrna Speedway, winning the 2000 Speed Week Track Championship. In May 2006, he made the Craftsman Truck Series debut at Mansfield Motorsports Park for Greenlight Racing, starting at 20th and finished at 26th. In 2010, Greenwell gave up racing. And again, the first race was the City of Mansfield 250. Excuse me. The last race was the 2006 O'Reilly 200. Now, on NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series results, again, 2006 for Greenlight Racing. Now, In 2022, Mike Greenwell was appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis to serve the remaining term of County Commissioner Franklin B. Mann after Mann died. He was subsequently re-elected for a full term in 2024, defeating Amanda Cochran in the Republican primary and Kizzy Fowler in the general. Greenwell operated several businesses, including Big League Builders, a general construction company. Greenwell owned an 890-acre ranch in Alva, Florida, which is a developer and county commissioner himself. He rezoned in 2023 for land development to include new housing and commercial units. He also owned a amusement park in Cape Coral, Florida, called Mike Greenwell's Bat Ball and Family Fun Park, which opened in February '92. He recently sold the park, which is now known as Gator Mike's. Greenwell's wife, Tracy, is a nurse, and he had two sons, both of which Greenwell coached. Ball was drafted as an outfielder in the 6th round of the 2007 MLB draft. He spent a total of 8 years in the minor leagues in the farm systems of Cleveland and the Red Sox. First baseman Garrett started at Santa Fe College in 2011 before transferring to Oral Roberts University in 2013. Greenwell was also the uncle of Jory Terdoslavich, who played for the Braves from 13 to 15. Unfortunately, in mid-August 2005, he announced being diagnosed with medullary thyroid cancer. He died 2 months later on October 9th. So for what I remember about Greenwell, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, he stabilized the Boston team that a lot of people felt were going to be not stable at a position after Jim Rice was no longer there. But Greenwell, what you saw is what you got, a very, very hard-working player. Comparable in a lot of ways to sort of a merge of Joe Carter and not the speed of Tim Raines, but the quality of play. Now, Greenwell was loved in Boston, always has been. The idea about that's an interesting era for Boston, because in the mid-'80s he made it to the World Series, and this was the Roger Clemens era, and he thought with Greenwell and a lot of the other young players, they were going to go far in the postseason. And '86, that was the big opportunity, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Game 6, no offense, that was a rough contest for sure. So we go into baseball reference to just look at the raw stats to impart how good he was. Now, that '85 season when he came up, he batted .323 with 4 home runs, and '85 he came up 4 home runs and 80 RBIs. Full term with Boston from '87 to '91, '89, 119, '95, 73 and 83 runs batted in. Out injured most of '90 and '92. Then 72 RBIs in the '93 campaign. Now in the postseason, he played in '86 in the ALCS and in the World Series. Didn't have a hit on 4 at-bats in the World Series. 1 for 2 in the ALCS. '88 in the postseason for Boston, hitting .214. 1990, unfortunately, 0 for 14. And '95, 3 for 15. Very rough go in the postseason, ladies and gentlemen. But in the regular season, he was like one of the cogs of what they call the new Boston, the Red Sox. So, ladies and gentlemen, we mourn the death of Mike Greenwell. If you like what you're doing here with our baseball tributes, especially MLB, let us know in a like, comment, subscribe, or share.